So Diablo 4 came out this last weekend in early access, and I've been absolutely loving it. I've been playing it mostly on my PC, but I wanted to see if I can play it on my Steam Deck, so I could play it on the couch or just anywhere else. At first I was a little bit worried. I did hear that even some high-end PCs were having some issues, graphic cards overheating and whatnot, but after looking at the minimum specifications, it seemed like the Steam Deck should be able to run it just fine. So I ended up downloading it onto the Steam Deck. I had to go into desktop mode in order to do this, and then I downloaded the Battle.net launcher. If you want a step-by-step guide on how to do this, I'll share with you a link to the video that I watched in order to get it running. And overall, I was really surprised with how well the game actually runs on the Steam Deck. So let me show you a bit of the gameplay. So once I got it up and running, it boots up like any other game. So here are the settings that we're running the game at. As you can see, it's pretty much low settings across the board. I also didn't download the high quality textures while installing the game, so everything is a little more muddy than if you're playing it on PC, of course, with the high poly textures. But on such a small screen, I wasn't really bothered by it much, and in my opinion, it still looks absolutely gorgeous. The lighting is still there, the colors look great, and like I mentioned, the game runs surprisingly well. I ran around one of the early cities here. As you can see, sometimes we do get a few skip frames or lag, but it's still very playable, and when you're out in the open world fighting enemies, it actually works even better. This game's really well optimized to be played with controller, so I find myself almost preferring to play the game like this on the Steam Deck versus playing with mouse and keyboard. It all controls really well and it just feels great. And as for heat, the Steam Deck does kick into fifth gear when playing the game sometimes, but it doesn't seem to be any worse than any other titles that engage the fan. It does make a bit of noise, but like I mentioned, nothing out of the ordinary for the Steam Deck. And that goes for heat as well. The Steam Deck does have pretty decent thermals, but you will feel a little bit of heat after playing for more than 30 minutes or so. And as far as battery life, I've been able to play this game for well over an hour without plugging it in, but you probably can't get more than 2 hours of playtime without plugging it in. I would say probably an hour and a half is about as much as you can expect. I've also played it while plugged in, so I have played it for a few hours at a time. It did crash one time on me over the 10-15 hours I've played it on the Steam Deck. I think that was the first or second day that I played it. I've been playing it for about 4 days now. There have been some updates and I haven't had any issues or crashes since. But yeah, overall, I would say Diablo 4 plays surprisingly well on the Steam Deck. And I'll for sure be switching back and forth from my PC to my handheld when maybe I want to sit on the couch for a bit. But yeah, that about wraps it up for this video. Thank you guys again so much for watching. Please consider giving it a like and subscribing if you enjoyed the video. I don't usually make videos like this, but if you enjoyed it, I'd be happy to consider making more like it in the future. Thank you guys so much for your time, and I hope you enjoy playing Diablo 4.